Hey, how's it going? Oh, I guess I should let you have a look at my signs. For disclaimer and entertainment purposes. Okay. Uh-oh. Now, see, I don't know if I can get that back the way I had it. Okay. Nope. That is not the way I had it. There we go. Alright. Well, anyway. So, I have some cards. I wanted to talk about something that I know is on everyone's minds right now, and it's like, what the heck is going on, and are we going to survive it, and this, is the world ending or whatever. And I understand that kind of pessimism. I'm looking for my indicator. Got it. Okay, so couple of things about that worry, that anxiety around what is the world coming to, basically. And I have started to talk about this, I know, a number of times, and I don't think I ever completed the sentence. You know who else is worried? Animals of this planet that live here. They are worried about, what we're doing to their hab and to our hab. It's our hab too. And it seems like we don't seem to understand that everything is connected in a way that if we were to remove too many things from the overall set of connections, the system will suffer. And that's not good. It's like catastrophic collapse is what it would be, I think. And we are pushing it like we don't live in it. Also, like, we would be caught in that chain reaction. So I just want to get it out there finally, at least on my channel. I know it's already out there on a couple, because one video I watched talked about how the whales are finally now understood. Thanks to AI, which I know everyone hates it. I just watched a bunch of graduation speeches, and the speakers kept trying to talk about AI as if these people just didn't spend a bunch of money and years learning how to do something, and you just came in and said, AI is going to take care of all of that. You won't have to worry about anything. And they're like, excuse me? They're still going to owe that money, I think. So, anyway, scientists, in this video, it is alleged that scientists use AI to decipher whale song. For, I think, years now, I've been saying, I think they're trying to communicate with us. I think they're sending us vibrational waves laden with information. And I know I said, what could they be telling us? And I sort of speculated, I think, what I was just saying. Stop ruining our hab. Stop hurting our hab. Like, it's the same thing as when it said that if you hurt somebody else, you're hurting yourself. Same thing. The whales and all of us, all the other animals, all the other humans, and whatever else, this is where we're living. Like, you don't want to poop where you sleep and eat, is what I'm saying. So, I intuited that correctly, that the whales have been trying to communicate with us. And so, yeah, the message was, they are, like, worried about how we're just, like, not picking up on it and stopping and finding other ways to power our everything, basically. Other ways to do our stuff. And then I saw another one where, same thing, except instead of whales, it was birds, and the scientists had used whales to decode what I believe it was. Oh, I don't know if it was crows or ravens. I think it was crows, and it was, of course, very ominous and scary because people always try to put that on blackbirds, and that's not real. But anyway, the birds are like, you're in danger. That was the message of the whales, too. You're in danger. And I understand it could very well be like AI slop, like, let's just have every animal and leaf and rock saying, you're in danger, you're screwing up the world. It doesn't matter. It's like a good message. No, it is not like a good message. It is a good message. Again, live, sleep, poop, eat. What are we doing? And so the other thing that I wanted to talk about a little bit was the connection part. How we are all connected, and in those ways that I mentioned before, if one of us hurts another person, place, or thing, it's hurting us too. Like, here's an example of a thing. The Voting Rights Act, taken away. That thing, gone, is going to hurt us in many ways. And not just the black people. I don't know why people get the idea that, like, civil rights and voting rights are only for black people, and if that were the case, it'd be called black voting rights and black civil rights. That is not what they're called, is it? There are other people that get rights. We all do. Just some of us were not getting a parity of rights. They weren't getting equal rights. Which, it's not black equal rights. It's not equal black rights. Nope. It's supposed to be for everyone. So, why did I go there? Oh, just talking about how the connection thing. So, I've been getting some repeating images for a while now, probably about at least 3 months now for the traffic jam ones. And it started with Ozark, when I was watching Ozark. So, yeah, about 2 or 3 months ago, there was one scene in it, and it really stuck with me, not because it was a traffic accident, but because in the show, the main protagonist couple are like in a chase scene, basically, and they're rushing away, they're driving off, and they're frantic, and they're not really paying attention to what's ahead of them, and then at the last moment, they see that they have to stop because there's a huge traffic jam that ain't going, it's not moving. It's not going anywhere. So, the weird thing about it is, and you know when there's dialogue, they have to, like, tone down the background noise, right? I don't think cars were honking their horns. And this was a bad backup. But it seemed like there was a water main or something, like there was some open street and caution tape type thing, like manhole, open street. Something like that had stopped it. And so, no honking, which I thought was weird. Except for maybe that was what got the main protagonist, played by Jason Bateman, into finally a physical fight with another driver. Or somebody else. Was he another driver? See, now I can't even remember. Because it's not the point. The point is that first he was arguing with the wife, played by Laura Linney. I don't remember the character names now because it's been a couple of months. But, so this other person is like fighting with Laura Linney, arguing with her, and he ends up pushing her down on the ground. So then Jason Bateman gets out of the car and comes over and starts hassling with the guy. And then, and this was really kind of weird. I'm just like seeing it in my mind now, but like a lot of actors. Jason Bateman, I don't think he's a very big guy, like tall. He's like slim and fit, but he's a little Gumby man. This other guy was like big, looping long arms and taller to the point where he was like kind of like having to lean down toward Jason Bateman to address him because he was that much taller. It was just a brief image, but the funny thing is Jason Bateman's character beat the snot out of this other guy, well, especially because he pushed his wife down. But if you're familiar with Ozarks, he had a lot of other pressures going on, including why they had car chased right into a traffic jam. But when the fight starts happening, it would have been enough to get a lot of people, like IRL, out of their cars to see a tall man looming over a woman and yelling at her and then pushing her down so that, like, she fell all over the ground, you know, like... Let's just say it's not any good to land on a bone on asphalt or concrete. So, like, you know, it just wasn't good that he threw her down there. IRL, people would have been like looky-loos and ear-looking and the whole thing, like, out of their cars and over there to, like, take bets practically. Everyone would want to see. Especially when the husband had to get out of the car and defend the wife, and then, you know, the two men are fighting. Also, if you're in a traffic jam, you might be angry that you're stuck there. And then if you see other people fighting the way we are, like, that would be attractive. Like, we would want to go look. And if we were already mad, we would be, like, egging that fight on and living vicariously through the fighters. And so what was weird was the fights going on, all that stuff I was just saying, no sound, no gasps, no yelling, no protests of throwing the woman down, of the fighting, of the beating the snot out of the one guy. I mean, I guess he had to be like, I'm remembering that the character had to be pulled off of the guy, and then the guy, you know, was able to bring charges because the snot beating required hospitalization. Anyway, like, that's crazy. So in real life, in like most normal shows, there would be background reaction, like reaction shots of faces. None of that. When they showed those characters having their interactions, there was a whole, like, backscape behind them of parked cars at a dead stop. They showed one scene with one woman's shocked face looking out of her window. That was the entirety of the reaction to all this fighting. And I just thought, that's so weird. But that's why it stuck in my head, the car accident thing. Now, a couple of months later, I'm seeing another car accident. I'm hearing two different people talking about the same situation where they kind of weren't expecting it or paying attention in one case. Which, dangerous, be paying attention when you're driving on the freeway, which is where all three of these took place, like a highway. So you're going at a high rate of speed. Don't be just zoning out. You come around a bend and then, you know, you got 60 feet to stop and not crash into all of the stopped metal already there. And so I began to realize, like, wait, okay, I'm seeing this scene over and over. Like, what's that about? And then I gave it some thought. I can just almost reach the itch. I hate it when that happens. Okay, so I was like, why do I keep seeing this car crash scene? And the common denominator I thought I discovered was that you're going along, you're rushing along, actually, you're distracted, you're anxious, you're angry, you're all of the above, you're sad, so you're maybe crying and you can't see clearly, or you don't have your eyes all the way open to, I don't know, like, whatever the distraction is like your life is going along, you're in your life going along, and you got your mind on everything but being on the road, like being in the moment, here and now, and you very nearly crash into a traffic jam, which is a bunch of stopped big heavy metal things for you and your inertia to go flying into, and it would, you get that wouldn't be good, right? Like, that would be a bad scene. And so, I mean, I guess it's the message is slow down and pay attention. There's a lot of congestion ahead of you, complicated, roadblocks. Okay. Got it, I think. So the other thing, and this just happened one time, but I was thinking about the connections thing. And so I had this vision of a baseball that the strings had broken and the outer cover was peeling off. Have you ever seen a baseball where that's happened, or even a softball? And I'm thinking of the ones they give you in like elementary school or junior high school. And they're like, I guess regulation size. They're probably regulation balls, but instead of like a baseball, which is like leather covered and has stitches, the softballs that I am familiar with were just like molded stitches of the rubber coating the ball. And it was just all rubber all the way around. Not leather, no stitches, just molded whatever, plastic or rubber, whatever the stuff was outside of the softball. It was molded into stitches shape. But if you've seen the cover knocked off of either of them, what's underneath is like a string ball, which is so weird. And I have definitely seen the inside of the ball with a string ball, like ball of string. Like, it seems to literally be a string wound up until it's the size of a baseball or a softball. And that's the filling. So I was thinking about that, and it just made me think of, like, connections you can only see one end of. And I guess it is kind of like the traffic jam as well, because the connection is just everybody going their way, but, somebody has a crash, then everybody's messed up, and there's your connection. But so with the balls, it's like, if it's just a wound up ball of string, right? If it's all one string, which I doubt, because there's all different colors of string, I didn't unravel the thing all the way, so I have no idea what's at the center of it. Like, what is the core of those things? Does it have something in it that gives it that baseball or softball thing for, like, when you hit it, like, does it matter? I don't know. I didn't unwind it all the way, but if it's one string from beginning to end, that's one connection. That's one whole connection going all the way through it. But you can't see the other end. And that's hard to remember when you're trying to apply the everything's connected thing to yourself in your life. Because you, like, even if I think about it really, like, deeply, I'm pretty basic about it, It's like, to make the easiest connection, I gotta see both ends, which is silly, because that's not really how it works. It's really more like closer to quantum stuff, where you can see one end, but there is another end attached or connected, right? So I guess that is the lesson of the balls, but what does that mean? I mean, I think I pretty well understood that we're all connected. Maybe it's for the viewer. So I have two cards from the Mary Magdalene, the Declarations of Mary Magdalene deck. And the first one reads, it's the number 37, which adds up to 10, which is 1, if you get rid of the 0. So, master number. And the card reads, to see with the eyes of the heart is to see beyond all time, space, reality. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the ball with this because that's like seeing with the eyes of the heart is not seeing with your eyes. It's like the heart remembers how you feel, the vibration of seeing the connection. And to see beyond all space and time, beyond all space, time, and reality, time, space, reality, there's no and, I'm reading off of here, but it's like, you kind of like you gotta take it on faith, you know the other end is there, even if you can't see it, and conceptually, you don't really know what's going on in between both ends, even inside of a ball. Is there a thing at the other end that gives it the ball-iness? Or, you know what I'm saying? But the point is you have a whole nother time, space, reality between ends of that balled up ball. But you know there's an other end. And I guess, especially when it comes to matters of the heart, that's kind of how it is when, like, if you're a parent and your child is a service member and they're away and they're out of reach and you're concerned for them more than you normally would be because you have reason to be concerned, but you know that you're where you are and they're wherever they are, their undisclosed location, Strait of Hormuz. To just think of each other, like if it's a mother and son, for them to just think of each other, they might not do it coincidentally in the same moment, but if one thinks of the other from their end of the connection, even like it's not going to be like with the ball, it's not going to be a string with the mother at one end and the son at the other, but it's going to be something like that, because we don't always think of each other at the same time, like perfect coincidence, but if one thinks of the other, we can awaken the other's notice, attention, or whatever it is that allows them to feel the vibration of someone that loves them, a particular someone that loves them, is thinking about them. That's also a connection, and the string is not visible in the way that we typically view things, but that's okay, because the other connection is just as there, just as material. So the next card is number 47, that's 11. That's 2 1s. It's good. Also a master number. So this card reads, Christ's light and love is the savior of thy soul. Become thy light in love, and one has saved thyself. So, I'm just going to go real basic with that one, because that's what's coming to mind. We might all be searching for love and connection and thinking that we're missing that, but what we're missing is that we're not perceiving it in the way that it's occurring. Like, we will apply all thought into all things linear. Like, we'll make everything linear when That's not really how things work. It's like it's just an idea, you know? It's a concept. But I think that what this is saying is before you can find love outside of yourself, and this is what is hard for us to understand. Like, it took me a really long time to understand it, but once I did, it was like almost instantaneous that I sort of found what I had been looking for, that connection, that other half, I guess, of yourself or whatever. Although, I'm just going to interrupt myself to say that in a relationship, like, you're not really there to heal each other or to help another person find something missing in themselves in you, or vice versa. What brings the relationship together is the two halves, the two partners, have their own deal, have their own, you know, occupation, vocation, whatever it is. They got their own whole thing going on, and then, you know, the other partner as well. And so they can coexist in a place where they're not just dependent on each other's, like, existence for their own existence. Like, they don't have to be aware of their every moment and be there in every moment, except in their heart, you know. And then when you're together, when you have your stuff together and you find someone else that you click with, your vibrations attracted each other and meet, or match rather, then something develops from there of its own thing between the two of you. It's also that third thing in, like, a trinity, a holy trinity of a relationship. And you could go real obvious and say, oh yeah, child, but it doesn't have to be a child. Just the coming together and the relationship that develops is like its own thing. So, back to what I was saying, like, if you feel like you're chasing after love or a relationship or something, or you feel like you're just not finding it, you gotta find it here and now, at home, in yourself. And that's what sort of, like, triggers the attraction for someone to come from the outside and make their offer of love, I guess. That's what this one is saying to me today. And the Christ light that it talks about is that finding love and completion in yourself, you know, like, you don't have external need. You found everything you need within yourself, which is a step for all of us, you know, to be taking toward the better, because that opens up so much in us that it's a big expansion that just keeps unfolding. And when you do that, you open yourself up to learn new things and to absorb new concepts and ideas that maybe you would not have considered previously. Okay, so I have 4 Starseed Oracle cards, and so first one is Forge, Don't Follow. Oh, let me get a look at that. That suggests a lot of travel, but that's interesting that here is this place that looks like kind of pretty normal land, and then down here is like inner earth, like the inner self, I want to say, that's just kind of always moving and unresolved as far as like taking a single shape. Like, it's just very adaptable and moving around. And I forgot to take out the book. Pardon my arm there. Let's see what the book says about forge, don't follow. Okay, that's all right. Forge, don't follow. And the subtitles are, pave a new path. Be the leader you wish you had. So, reaching inside, being the leader you wish you had. So, learning to traverse sort of your outside world and your inside world. Okay. It says, if you wait until the path is perfectly paved, you won't be forging your own path, and you'll likely not even take the first step. Don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. There's that thing, looking outside of yourself for what you actually already contain. Where did I leave off? There we go. Let it be the reason that you do. Oh, okay. Yeah, don't let a small detail like being unable to find someone to show you the way be the reason you don't step forward and lead. Let that be the reason that you do. The most courageous and needed leaders are the ones who don't wait for permission or wait until morning or until the morning they wake up feeling ready. They take a deep breath, put one foot in front of the other, and figure it out as they go. They don't wait for someone to lead them. They lead themselves. This is a card for leaders. You're here to pave a path that hasn't been walked before, to go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. To go first and lead the way for others who are calling you in. If you feel misrepresented in the media, step forward for all of those who also feel misrepresented. If no one's speaking out on the topic you feel passionate about, share your unique voice. Share your unique voice. There's no one on earth who comes close to possessing your unique combination of skills, gifts, and life experience. Don't look to those who have come before you to work out your path. Leaders must forge their own. Do it for your daughter. Do it for the younger you. Do it for the leaders who follow. When you go first, you make it easier for others to follow your lead. Forge, don't follow. I'm just going to skip that. Okay, so the next card is Wait. Interesting that she's sitting on like a spiral galaxy and is, I guess, waiting. I don't know why she's in her nightgown, but I don't know, maybe she's astroplaning. This makes me think of cycles like the one that we started in 2012, or the one that was started in 2012, when the Mayan calendar ended for the period that it was covering, not for all time like we thought, because we're still here. The world did not end. An epoch, I would call it, ended, but when that did end, another one started. And those are approximately 26 years, the ones I'm referring to. the one that sort of kicked off what we're in right now, which is a transitional period. But she's there in her 90, settled down to wait. 26 years, give or take, is a long time. So let's see what it says about wait. The subtitles are, "It's not yet time. Things are being woven." Well, you know, that's woven. That's interesting. One of my meditations lately has been to think of like a problem area, like in the world, like we got plenty of wars to choose from, disaster-stricken areas, poverty-stricken areas, areas where things are fine, areas where things are good. I mean, I think they all get included in the pantheon of stuff. But yeah, so we just started rolling into a new cycle, and just one of many, you know. Allow yourself to be confused by that idea. There's like individual ones that refer to things and stuff and not people. Anyway, getting sidetracked. But yeah, wait, you know what you do in a 26,000 year wait period? You keep living life. You keep going and you do the best you can, and I guess you fill in like the blank spots for this new cycle. Okay, so it reads, "In our fast, loud, reactive, comparative world, where an instant response is so often expected, and at times even a currency, it can feel almost impossible to take a breath, let alone give ourselves..." I love how I was like dying to take a breath at the end of that. Let alone give ourselves the space to rest, wait, and reset. We're so often in overdrive, expecting instantaneous results over and over again. And when guidance doesn't come at these extreme speeds, it can feel as though something's gone wrong. But often, not receiving guidance is guidance in itself. When you ask for guidance and don't receive it, it can often mean, wait, it's not yet time. The details are being woven. I'm reading it the way it's written, which is like this, kind of spaced out. Our challenge is to keep trusting when, on the surface, it appears that nothing is happening. To remember that no matter how long or bitter the winter, spring does always come. To remember that you don't need to solve all of the world's problems in a single day, and that perhaps they'll be better solved with some perspective and a good night's sleep. This card is your permission to slip, to slow down, switch off, and rest. You're being reminded to have patience and to trust the mystery of life, to trust that things are being woven on your behalf. It may not be happening to the timeline you'd like, but if you gather up the patience, it will be orchestrated better than you can ever imagine. That's usually the case. Like, we know what we want and we think we need to have it a certain way, and we'll usually get exactly that, what we want. It just won't be recognizable as the way we ordered it up, perhaps. Alright, we're done with that. So this one is, you're not for everyone. Oh, there, okay. I was having some problems figuring out which way was up on this. So I don't know if you're having that same issue, but that's actually the person standing right there on this precipice. And that, I guess, is their scarf or something. Their dress train, who knows? It's something they're wearing. I guess it's windy. You're not for everyone. Okay, let's see what it says about that. You're not for everyone, and the subtitles are, embrace your weirdness, face your true north. The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, just won't like you. But it's also filled with those who love you fiercely. They're your people. Oh, they're your people. You're not for everyone, and that's okay. Talk to the people who can hear you. Don't waste your precious time and gifts trying to convince others of your value. They won't ever want what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk alongside you. You'll be wasting both your time and theirs, and will likely inflict unnecessary wounds that will take precious time to heal. So, yeah, don't hurt yourself for nothing. You're easier said than done, I know. You're not to wait for them, and they're not for you. Politely wave them on and continue on your way. Sharing your path with someone is a sacred gift. Don't cheapen it by rolling yours in the wrong direction. Keep facing your true north. Pulling this card means you're being called to embrace your uniqueness, to own your weirdness, to let the world see who you really are, to reveal your multifaceted, multidimensional nature, not to dim your light according to who is in your presence, to own all parts of yourself so that your people, the ones who are the same kind of weird as you, can recognize you when your paths cross. Okay. Got it. Okay, so the last card is A New Earth. So this person looks like they're wearing a very, very filmy beach cover-up. Or that's what you're handed when you're born. Or maybe when you're passing over. I don't know. Look at that. Interesting. It looks like they're in like one of those lakes that's in a volcano. Because look at these walls up here. And then the sky way up here. Interesting cloud pattern too. And then there's like a lake here. And they're walking up to... Yeah, I don't know. I'm getting volcano lake out of that. So let's consult the manual. A New Earth. Oh, it's the very first one. What do you know about that? And the subtitle is, It's Happening. Keep holding the vision. Keep breathing. Now push. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing the right direction. You'll have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds. Dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. Planting new seeds and bringing about a shift of the ages is no mean feat. It requires extreme trust and a radical vision. If you pull this card, it's a reminder to have faith. You chose to be here, to be part of the global shift. Whether you're bringing it about through prayer and meditation or through working on a new project, job, or creation, keep going. It's happening. Don't give up now. The world needs more dreamers like you, more people with hope in their hearts. Hi, Puffer. The road ahead may not be plain sailing. Ushering in a new age in times of change never is. You're being encouraged to remember that what you've been working toward for so long is almost here. Don't question yourself now. Don't waver. Dig your devotion deep, for if you do, in the not-too-distant future, you'll be able to sit back and watch all that you've so carefully planted and nurtured grow and blossom. It's possible. Keep focusing on your dreams. You're closer than you think. That card really wanted you to have faith. But you know what? I guess it bears repeating because we have a time right now where doubt, I think, has like fertile ground to thrive in, because it does seem like things are falling apart and systems are doing weird things. This change, like we've lost some things over the past 10, 20 years, and some things we've been aware of, and some things you might just suddenly realize, hey, I haven't seen that what's it for so long. Whatever happened to that, and it's nowhere to be found. And that sure makes me think of that Tartaria stuff again, because that's how it disappeared and faded from memory, is like bit by bit, and just by like separating people and breaking up the generations of people so that, one group that's older passes out of existence and they're not telling each other the old stories anymore. And the young ones, well, how much do they remember from when they were young? Like, what do they understand other than things are very different? Can they articulate? Like, stuff gets lost. Information gets lost. So, yeah, I don't know. Now I forget why I started talking about that. But anyway, thank you and good night.